Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Teachers or learners, welcome back to this unit on the 4 assessments for the higher level, 3 if you're standard level, components of the English A Literature and Language Diploma Programme course. Now, as you can see, this is the final piece of the puzzle for higher level students. In this video, we're going to take a deep dive as to what exactly is expected of you when you plan and produce your high level essay and how it's different and unique from the extended essay if you're choosing a group 1 topic, the IO, and of course paper 2. There's a very unique request that the IB make for the high level essay. So, what is it? The high level essay for higher level students is an opportunity to deep dive into one text that we've studied in class and produced a polished, formal, and analytical piece of writing. It's not a summary, and it's definitely not a general commentary. It is a sustained argument built around a single and well-crafted line of inquiry. The aim is to explore that question through one of the central IB concepts, demonstrating that you can think critically, interpret authorial choices, and organize ideas clearly over 12 to 1500 words. Now, remember these central IB concepts because they are key. Here are the 7 concepts listed, and every higher level essay, every strong higher level essay, is rooted in one of these 7 IB concepts. These aren't just buzzwords. They give your essay a conceptual anchor, and they help you avoid a vague, aimless argument. For example, if you choose perspective, you might explore how a narrator's bias shapes the reader's understanding. If you choose representation, the last one, you might examine how marginalized voices are often portrayed. So the concept isn't your afterthought, it drives your line of inquiry. It shapes your evidence and signals to the examiner that your piece is conceptually rich. To omit an IB concept from your essay will be detrimental to your mark. Fact. So how do we choose our texts? You'll notice you have 6 texts as a higher level student. One of them has been taken for your individual oral. You're going to lose another one for the high level essay. So your text choice here is the make or break. You can only use texts that you look at in class, but within that, choose something with enough complexity to sustain 1500 words. A short poem could work, short stories work, but only if you think it's rich enough in techniques and themes. Generally, if it's delivered in class, it's because it has that thematic density or conceptual opportunity to write a high level essay about it. Otherwise, it wouldn't be included. Now, avoid picking something just because you like it. Pick it because it fits a concept that you're interested in and has multiple moments of authorial craft that you can unpack. Steer clear of overused and sweeping topics. Instead, go for precision and depth. So, here's the rubric, and it is your route map to A7. Feel free to pause the video and screenshot this. Criterion A rewards your perspective, concept-driven knowledge of the text. You can see here it's the same. Knowledge, understanding, and interpretation. Very little changes. Criterion B is all about insightful analysis of authorial choices and their effects. Criterion C, as always, moves into focus, organization, and development. Logical progression, linked ideas, no drifting off topic. And finally, criterion D is your academic style, precise vocabulary, grammatical control, a formal tone. Now, the best way to use this rubric is to start with the top band descriptors and work backwards, making sure every part of your essay meets these standards. If you're unsure, great opportunity to use your teachers or other programs available to you. So with the high level essay, do we structure it the same way as paper 2? Well, it's not a comparative piece, so no. Is it going to be the same as the I.O.? Well, the I.O. requires you to mention global issues. And if you've been paying attention, global issues haven't yet become a core concern. Instead, concepts links, one of the 7. So each of your paragraphs is like a mini essay in itself. Aim for around 300 to 325 words. If you want to arrive within the word count, maybe 350 maximum. You want to bring in specific evidence, quotations, and or textual moments from the literary work that you are studying. You need to identify, or you need to analyze it to a great depth. Identify the authorial choice, explain its effect, and link it to your guiding question. The concept link ensures that you never lose sight of your IB focus. Wrap up your paragraph with a closing remark that connects the paragraph back to the thesis and sets up for the next section. Of all of these, what you cannot afford to miss out on or miss the reference to is the concept link. You'll be used to doing peel paragraphs anyway. And of course, you'll be mentioning technique as part of your analysis, secondary data, which we'll focus on in the next slide. There's quite a lot going on, but this is the skeleton, and this is all that's being added. Now, your wider research. Of course, you only have a maximum of 1,500 words. And as part of that, in-text citations come out of your word count. Not just the quote itself, but the text within parentheses from start to end of the essay. So the word count is non-negotiable, and you'll be punished if you move beyond 1,500 words or fail to meet 1,200 words. To add richness and bring in wider reading, critical essays, historical background, or interviews with the author. Do these with purpose. Google Scholar is a great place to look. You can also use Google, typing in the sort of document that you're looking for, and then cite somebody else's primary data as your secondary data, because you did not collect that data. It is your secondary source. The more jargon you use, the more impressive it's going to appear to an examiner. Of course, that comes hand in hand with your criterion D, language. So the sources that you are using, I would aim for 3 or 4 here. Maximum 5, because you don't want it to turn into a research paper. These sources should serve your argument, not replace it. Be selective. One well-integrated secondary source is better than 7 or 8 half relevant that have flooded into your essay. Keep the focus firmly on your analysis and the text of concern, the one that you've chosen to write about. So, in summary, your high-level essay is your chance to prove you can think, research, and write like a literary scholar. Choose a text and concept that genuinely interests you. Let the concept that you choose be the lens through which you interpret the work. Almost like a theme, what we look at in class generally. What thematic lens are you going to don in order to interpret this text? Instead, it's the concept. And you don't need to source it. You have 7 and you choose 1. Plan your structure before you write, of course, and keep the rubric in front of you. Edit relentlessly for clarity and precision. It's not just an assessment. It's the kind of writing skill that will serve you far beyond the IB. Once again, we emphasize critical thought. If it weren't relevant outside of the classroom, we wouldn't be delivering it in the second year of your diploma program. If you have any questions, write them down in the comment section. Thank you for listening. See you in the next one.